Have you ever felt like you're just not on the same page as everyone else? Well, you might be interested to know that feeling of being misunderstood, it isn't just some social quirk. It's actually a super interesting field in cognitive psychology, and today we're going to break it all down.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Do you ever find yourself in the middle of small talk and it just feels completely pointless? Or you just get this feeling of disconnection, like your mind is running on a totally different track? It's a really common feeling, and believe it or not, there's a psychological reason behind it.
So, right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about ego. It's not arrogance. Psychology suggests it's all about the way you're wired, your cognitive processes. So what we're going to do here is build a kind of study guide, you and me, to really explore the cognitive functions that are making you tick. All right, first up, let's start with the hardware, the very operating system of your mind, because that's where this whole thing begins. The first big term for our study guide is hyperconnectivity. Now, I know, it sounds super complex, but think of it this way. It's like your brain has this high-speed fiber optic network connecting all its different departments. This is the science behind what we usually just call overthinking. Your brain isn't just taking in one idea at a time. Nope, it's constantly cross-referencing everything to build this huge, detailed picture of what's going on. And you know, this kind of wiring has a direct effect on how you act. A hyperconnected brain just isn't happy with the simple surface-level answer. It has this deep need to understand the why behind the what, to see all the gears turning. You're not just hunting for an answer, you're trying to map out the entire system.
Now here's the upside to all that constant processing. You become a natural at recognizing patterns. You don't just hear the words someone says, you pick up on the tiny hesitation, the specific word choice, the shift in their body language. You're basically always reading between the lines, which by the way is a huge part of having high emotional intelligence.
Okay, so that's what's going on inside your head. But what happens when that super-powered cognitive engine has to, talk to people? Let's get into that external experience. This is where the wires so often get crossed. For you, being alone is a necessary mental recharge. But to others, it can look like you're being distant, even antisocial. When you pause to really think through your words, people might see it as you being shy or worse, arrogant. And that deep desire for a real, meaningful conversation. It can easily come across as you just being bored by normal, everyday topics. It's like there's this constant translation gap between your reality and their perception. And it's so important to get this right. Liking your alone time isn't about rejecting other people. It's just that you're so drawn to the incredibly rich, complex, and honestly stimulating world inside your own head. When your own mind is a fascinating place to hang out, of course you're going to want to spend some time there. Now, let's look at the engine that drives this whole cognitive style. It's not just about how you think, it's about what you're thinking for. What's the core motivation here? And it really boils down to two fundamental drives. First, you've got this tendency to question and challenge systems. This isn't just about being a rebel, it's this innate desire to really understand how things work so you can make them better. And second, you place this incredibly high value on truth and authenticity, often way above the need to be popular or get everyone's approval. And we have to reframe this because it's so important. This drive doesn't come from a place of negativity or just wanting to be difficult. It actually comes from a powerful commitment to what is factually correct, ethically sound, and just real. And that brings us to the final piece of our study guide. It's the ability to turn that powerful analytical lens back on yourself. So here's our next key term, metacognition. It's a cornerstone concept in psychology, and it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. It's, quite simply, the brain's ability to watch itself work. You're not just having thoughts, you're aware that you're having them, and you can step back and analyze them, even as they're happening. I absolutely love this analogy. Being both the player and the commentator in the game of your own mind. It's perfect, right? It totally captures that dual role. You're down on the field, in the action, having the experiences, but at the exact same time, you're up in the commentary box, analyzing your own performance, your strategies, and your mistakes. And this creates this amazing feedback loop for personal growth. It goes like this. You have a thought, then your metacognition kicks in and you analyze that thought. This self-analysis, it lets you see your own flaws with, let's be honest, sometimes brutal clarity. And while that can feel tough, that is the exact mechanism that fuels self-correction and genuine growth. So, let's put our whole study guide together. Let's reframe all these things we've been talking about, because these aren't signs of a problem. They are incredibly powerful tools in your cognitive toolkit. When you lay it all out like this, the picture becomes so clear. That hyperconnectivity,
That's the engine for your deep, creative thinking. That pattern recognition, that's a high level of emotional intelligence. And metacognition, that's your built-in system for constantly getting better. These are strengths, full stop.
So listen, if you recognize yourself in any of this, please don't let anyone convince you that you're too much or too intense. These aren't flaws to be fixed. They are powerful evidence that you have a deep, complex mind at work, and you should protect that.
And so, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If these traits, deep analysis, a drive for the truth, and intense self-awareness, are actually signs of a higher level of thinking, what does that say about a world that so often rewards the exact opposite? Quick, surface-level answers, and just going along with the